If your wife has given up, if she seems emotionally checked out, distant, or calm in a way that scares you, this video is not going to give you false hope. I'm also not going to promise that everything will work out if you just say the right thing, because that's not actually how this works. Most marriages don't end when a woman gives up. They end when a man reacts to that belief she's given up in the wrong way. The moment you treat she's given up as the end, you're going to accelerate it to it actually being the end. So in this video, I want to show you something different. I'm going to walk you through 3 windows that still exist after a woman has emotionally given up, and these windows quietly determine whether there's any chance left for you to turn your marriage around. Most men don't even know that these windows exist, and without realizing it, they slam them shut one by one. So let's jump into it so you can confidently walk right through these windows and have the amazing relationship you are craving. When a man hears or feels like his wife has given up, he throws it into his mental translator and it comes back with only one possible meaning in his mind. It's over. But that translation is usually wrong. When a woman appears to have given up or even says she's given up, emotionally it doesn't mean she stopped feeling. It really just means that she stopped hoping. She's exhausted. She's tired of trying. She's tired of conversations that go nowhere. But most of all, she's tired of expressing herself and feeling misunderstood or dismissed. So she has stopped hoping that you're going to start showing up differently. Giving up is often a protective move for her emotionally, but it doesn't mean it's a final decision. Think about it like this. If someone's going to keep arguing with you, complaining, pushing you, it's not because they don't care. It's because they still believe something might change in you. When the arguing stops, when the emotion goes quiet, that's when the resignation sets in. It's like she really wants to get in the house because she knows on the other side of the front door, it can make her really happy. But you never open the door to emotional safety, so she stops knocking on that door. She didn't stop knocking because she doesn't want to get inside. She stopped knocking because she has knocked so many times without getting an answer that her emotional knuckles hurt and she no longer believes you're going to ever open that door. It becomes a near zero possibility in her subconscious. This is where most men misread the situation because they think the danger is that believing she's done, when the real danger is how they respond to their own belief that she's done. So I want to get into the 3 windows that exist when she's seemingly already given up, that if you can understand them, you can absolutely turn things around in your relationship and never have to feel that hopelessness and panic of possibly losing your family ever again in your life. The first window that exists is emotional leverage. And I want to be clear right here off the bat, emotional leverage is not trying to manipulate her emotionally via some control or tactics to trick her. Emotional leverage simply means this: your presence still registers in her nervous system, your behavior still creates contrast, and your reactions still shape the emotional environment in the relationship. The emotional leverage window closes when your emotional responses become predictable, needy, or reactive. The window will slam right on your fingers the second you try and climb through it if you're doing any of the following: begging, over-explaining, trying to convince her that everything is fine, that you can just both try and work on it together, chasing reassurance, or dumping all of your emotions on her in a panic, no less, to feel relief for yourself. And I want you to notice something important about those behaviors I just mentioned. Most likely for you, if you have done any number of them, they didn't come from a place of bad intention, which would be attempting to manipulate her in some way. I know that feeling because I have done each and every single one of those in my romantic life when I was younger, and I had no understanding of what it really took to be a leader in a relationship and no understanding of how the feminine mind worked. And every single time I did, it ended in heartbreak. So I know full well through my own experience that these actions come from a place of fear and panic and really wanting not to lose her. But what it took me a Groundhog Day of heartbreak to learn is that all these actions all communicate the same thing to her. I need you to change how you feel so I can feel okay. And once that message lands in her subconscious, that is where your emotional leverage collapses because there's no contrast anymore. This is why, as I talked about in the last video, trying to convince her to make things better or that they're going to be great doesn't bring her any closer. It actually just removes the very tension that keeps the window open. The second window is one that almost no one talks about. I call it relational gravity. Relationships do not survive on logic, and they don't move forward because of explanations and promises. They survive on felt difference, on polarity and emotional contrast, and on the sense that being near you feels different to her than being away from you. Imagine 2 objects in outer space. If one is constantly orbiting the other and never creating a healthy distance, never changing trajectory unexpectedly, then there's no gravitational pull. It's just floating. And most men kill relational gravity by being consistently available, hovering emotionally, trying to stay close at all costs, and flooding her with attention or vulnerability. Distance doesn't kill relationships. Neediness inside closeness does. So with your marriage, if she gets to the point of emotional disconnection or giving up, when you start to do all of those things in a panic, trying to stay close at all costs, etc., your emotional center collapses into how she reacts to you during this time, which is not going to be good, because if she already has that emotional disconnection, you're not going to get the reaction you're looking for, and there's nothing that's going to be pulling her back in. You completely removed all the gravity. And now for the third window that is open when it feels like she has already given up. This third window is the most subtle, but I would say it's the most fatal one for your chances of saving your marriage if you miss this one. The third window is self-respect timing. As part of the relational gravity damage that happens in window 2 when you're trying to stay close at all costs, men will always tell their wife, I'm going to change, I'm going to lead, I'm going to step right up. But if you only show that strength and good intention once she's halfway out the door emotionally, it feels very reactive to her. Like the threat of losing her is in extreme mode, it's going to come off as performative to her, even though that's not your intention. And because, let's be honest with ourselves, there is a high likelihood that this wouldn't be the first time you said something like you're going to change or that you're going to do something differently, but you never actually followed through with it. And that erodes credibility. She doesn't reconsider her stance on the relationship just because you change, but more so how that change arrives without pressure from you and how it's communicated by you in terms of ownership. When you shift in understanding where you've been slacking and then become dedicated to growing, it happens calmly, early, and without needing her response or validation. This is going to land completely different on her emotionally. This is what preserves self-respect and is a crucial step to rebuilding her attraction for you and keeping her curiosity at least slightly heightened for you. That's what keeps this window open to climb through. At this point, I want to shift the question entirely. The wrong question is, can I save my marriage? I get it. That is the ultimate goal. However, that question keeps you reactive. It keeps you outcome dependent, and it keeps you scanning her behavior every day for reassurance that you're doing the right thing. The right question you have to think about is, which windows are still open and which ones am I closing? That's where your agency lives and where your leadership actually begins. This should bring you some level of calm because, quite honestly, you get hope from that. Because what seems like a hopeless situation is actually one where you can exhale, because this will eliminate you having to guess her feelings anymore and then react based on where you think they are sitting. The focus is actually all about you, growing your ability and understanding on how to lead in the relationship, and about the understanding of the environment you're creating and how it impacts things overall. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe some other coaches will, but I'm not going to sit here and say 100% of marriages just come back, because some don't, and there can be a myriad of reasons why they don't. This isn't because you failed as a man, but the emotional damage was already too deep. But here's the thing, men who lead correctly at this stage don't lose themselves even if the relationship does end in that point in time. Because of the transformation process of growing as a leader, they rebuild self-respect again, they regain emotional stability, and they stop chasing outcomes and start actually leading their lives. And paradoxically, those are the men that women are most likely to reconsider, because they have stopped collapsing and they started carrying themselves in a completely different way that she's used to, and attraction can come roaring back out of nowhere. This is why so many clients I've had are already in separation or divorce proceedings, but they turn it around. So if you're watching this and thinking, I really don't know what windows are still open in my situation, or I'm afraid I'm making things worse without realizing it, that's exactly what I walk men through in my free Relationship Rebuild Masterclass. That masterclass will give you more clarity on your situation and structure to what you have to do next, so you can stop guessing and start acting from a grounded place. If you want to turn your relationship around, you really can't afford to waste time. So go and watch the free masterclass, because it is the fastest way to get what you want. The link is in the description below. Whether your marriage survives or not, the way you show up matters right now. It has nothing to do with guaranteeing an outcome, but because it determines who you become on the other side of all this. And that is something you actually have complete control over. So if this video helped you out, give the like button a tap, because it helps my channel out, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.